I'm woke now and I can prove it. Here you go. I love illegal immigrants. Yeah, sue me now. Sometimes I go down to Dover for the day, right? And I look out, right? I look for a boat and I see a dinghy with about 60 of them and I go over here, like, right? And I pull them into shore and I go, women and children first. They go, there are no women and children. Just you lads.
Ricky Gervais is one of the funniest comedians out there. He's fearless when it comes to tackling any topic, which is why his fans adore him. But what truly gets people laughing isn't just his sharp jokes. It's something more.
Oh, that cat? I go, yeah, I do. It's a cat. It's not a person. What's the worst that can happen if you spoil a cat? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't grow up to be fucking Boris Johnson. It is... No, I don't.
Jess has a unique talent for humor that goes beyond clever punchlines. He's all about speaking the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. His comedy resonates because he says what everyone else is thinking but too hesitant to voice. In today's video, we're diving into his bold takes on woke culture. From censorship to identity politics, Ricky tackles it all with sharp wit and unapologetic sarcasm. No topic is off limits, and no one escapes his humor. We'll kick things off with his perspective on Boris Johnson's controversial comments about Muslim women. As always, Ricky masterfully finds a way to make even the most serious topics hilarious.
I'm woke now and I can prove it. Here you go. I love illegal immigrants. And I go, where you headed? And he goes, Gary Lineker's house. I go, it's just down there.
Expertly pokes fun at both Boris Johnson and society's double standards in one clever move, showing just how sharp his humor can be. Now, let's turn up the heat with something even more controversial. Ricky's satirical take on illegal immigration.
To me, about another comedian, they say, oh, they're not funny. Even if I agree with them, I stand up and I say, well, you can't say that. You've got to say, you don't find them funny, you know. And I hate it when people say, that joke was offensive. I gotta say, no, you've got to say, you found it offensive. Because it's all about feeling.
Ricky's take on immigrants staying at Gary Lineker's house is a classic example of his ability to turn a serious topic into pure comedy gold. But now, he's moving on to a subject that hits close to home for many comedians: woke comedy. With all the rules and boundaries these days, it's no surprise Ricky isn't a fan. What about you? Which Ricky moment had you laughing out loud while questioning everything? Share your favorite in the comments. And if you're ready for more raw, unfiltered comedy, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's exactly what Ricky would want. Now, let's hear his thoughts on woke comedy and the concept of safe spaces.
It was a Caitlyn Jenner joke, right? Oh, outrage on Twitter the next day. And by outrage, I mean a couple of people going, it was transphobic. It wasn't transphobic in the slightest. It was a joke about a trans person, but the joke had nothing to do with that aspect of her existence. And that's the other thing about offense. People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target, and they're not necessarily the same. I'll tell you the joke. You make your own minds up, right? So,
Ricky points out an important truth. Just because a joke touches on a topic doesn't mean it's attacking it, something many people still struggle to understand. Now, let's dive into the hot button issue of cancel culture. Ricky has a lot to say on this, and in this clip, he delivers a sharp warning. Those who celebrate cancellations today might find themselves in the same boat tomorrow.
Person to revel in someone getting cancelled for something they said 10 years ago. You're just ensuring that one day you'll be cancelled for something you said today. You can't predict. The worst thing you can say today is women don't have penises, right? Now, no one saw that coming.
Let's move on to another heated topic, the evolving definition of what it means to be a woman. Ricky's comedy never backs down from tough conversations, and in this bit, he takes on the shifting ideas around gender and identity with his signature sharp...
The radio in England a few weeks back, Radio 4, quite highbrow, there was a discussion about political correctness. My name came up straight away, right? And there was this woman on there going, oh yeah, well it's not right. Ricky Gervais, he makes jokes about fat people. He wouldn't make jokes about gay people, would he? And being fat is like being gay. What? No, it's not. What? You can't choose.
Ricky dives into another sensitive topic, obesity, and, true to his style, flips the conversation with a dash of absurdity. In his unique way, he even draws a comparison to being gay, leaving the audience laughing while rethinking the discussion entirely.
The TV game with a morning show, a superb drama, yeah. A superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that...
Ricky isn't buying that comparison for a second. Now he's setting his sights on something even bigger, the hypocrisy of woke corporations. He calls out Hollywood for its virtue-signaling speeches, often backed by companies running sweatshops behind the scenes. Ricky sees right through the moral high ground these celebrities claim to stand on, and honestly, so do we.
The word queer used to mean someone who was attracted to the same sex as themselves, a gay man. Now, the word queer can mean a straight man who wants some attention.
The word queer has certainly evolved over time, and Ricky doesn't miss the chance to poke fun at just how confusing it's gotten.
Well, that's the thing about offence, isn't it? When people say they're offended, just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right. You know, it's offence is about feelings, and feelings are...
Ricky's sharp sarcasm always shines a light on the absurd, and next, he takes on what really happens when people claim they're offended. In his view, being offended doesn't automatically make you right. In this clip, Ricky explains why offense is subjective and why it's so important to keep pushing boundaries in comedy.
Yeah, big backlash, wasn't there? Big backlash. People going, you can't say that. You can. I did. Well, I am woke, and now I'm woke, the first thing I've got to do is change my Twitter bio. Because at the moment, it's like a list of the shows I've created. But now I'm woke, I've got...
Ricky believes the best comedy should challenge the status quo. And next, he addresses the backlash to his Netflix special Supernature. The special stirred up plenty of buzz online. But Ricky's response? Let's just say, he's not losing any sleep over it.
Have you heard of that? Cultural appropriation, the latest no-no. Now... again, in my day, it was considered a good thing to swap ideas with other cultures, with other nations, to share things with other races, to assimilate. It was the opposite of racist. Now,
for Ricky, controversy often only makes something more popular. Now, let's see how he tackles another hot topic, cultural appropriation. It's been getting a lot of attention lately, but Ricky isn't entirely convinced it's as serious as people make it out to be.
They're trying to bring people down to raise their own status. And they say it's because, no, we're protecting minorities. Like, they're basically saying minorities haven't got a sense of humour. I'm a white, heterosexual multimillionaire, right? There's less than 1% of us.
In this next clip, Ricky goes after virtue signalers, calling out those who love to show off their good deeds without actually backing them up.
Explain to someone every day what freedom of speech means, particularly in the context of comedy, and particularly in the context of a joke, that a joke about a bad thing isn't as bad as the bad thing. It's not even necessarily condoning the bad thing. It could be anti the bad thing. It depends on the actual joke. And this woman said, you should never make jokes about food allergies. I should have left it, right? I sent back, I make jokes about AIDS, cancer, famine, and the Holocaust, right? And you're telling me I should never joke about food allergies. She sent back, yes, but the Holocaust didn't kill children. Well, it did, didn't it? It was horrible, the Holocaust. Some would say as bad as food.
Ricky believes that pretending to protect minorities without truly understanding them is more patronizing than progressive. Now, let's hear his take on the limits of free speech, especially in comedy. Freedom of speech is something Ricky cares deeply about, and in this clip, he explains why making jokes about bad things doesn't mean you're supporting them.